Tonight, young women learn lessons in empowerment.
Plus, SGA debates move to the internet. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Nightly News for February 17th, 2014. I'm Caitlin Crow.
And I'm Amanda Ford. Thank you for joining us this evening. Empowering young girls is the goal of a special project started by a Troy University student. This weekend, some of the young ladies had the chance to hear lessons in personal empowerment on the Troy campus. Katerina Kunitsia has the story.
On Saturday, February 15th, Troy University held the event organized by the Project Embrace.
Today we will have a seminar for the young ladies. We have 3 phenomenal speakers speaking on personal hygiene, self-esteem, and first impression.
Project Embrace is aimed to empower, educate, and mold young ladies into the leaders of tomorrow.
I just hope I can, learn and any way to better myself, that'd be good. Because, nowadays girls sometimes, they feel timid, they feel, they don't want to embrace themselves, and I guess that's what this project is here to do.
The project covers personal and at the same time essential topics which every woman needs to know.
Today, it's going to be fun actually because we'll talk about, how to become a woman. We can go out and talk to girls about hygiene and self-worth, respecting yourself and loving yourself first.
Such projects make a difference in the community and help people to become better.
It's important to me because I feel like you should give back to the community and teach them things they may not know. I think for them, it's important to be able to put themselves out there, be confident, to be able to succeed in life, get far in life. That's really what I want them to get out of it.
Katerina Kunitsia, TrojanVision News.
After Saturday's success, organizers hope to make this an annual event.
In Troy University, student government officer elections are this Wednesday. And throughout the weekend, students have had the chance to get to know the candidates through the televised officer debates here on TrojanVision. Well, now the same opportunity is available via the internet. The officer debates are now available for viewing on Troy University's YouTube page at youtube.com/TroyUni. Viewers can get to know the candidates for all 5 officer positions in individual segments on the page. The SGA feels these debates are a good way to introduce the candidates to potential voters.
Well, the importance of the SGA debates, especially for our candidates that are not running for president, is for them to let the student body know who they are, what their platforms are, and why they're running. No one should run for an SGA office just for the excitement of running. They should have a purpose. And if they don't have a purpose, then they really shouldn't be running. So this really gives the opportunity for students to truly see who's running and what their platform is and what their passions are and how they can help them as the student of Troy University.
The SGA officer election is this Wednesday from 8 to 5 in the SGA office in Trojan Center, room 215. Students must have their student ID to vote. And last week, the month-long exhibit of the work of artist Libby Rowe came to a close in the Malone Art Gallery.
That's right, but before her work left Troy, the artist herself made a visit to discuss her work with Troy students. Casey Freeman has the details.
The latest Malone Art Gallery exhibit featured work from artist Libby Rowe from Texas. Students were able to gain a better understanding of her work by hearing from the artist herself.
Generally, my artwork is about being female, so it's about the sociological aspects, it's about the physiological aspects, and it's about the psychological aspects of all that can entail. So each piece tackles a different approach to that, or a different way of thinking.
The director of the Malone Art Gallery, Greg Skaggs, hopes the students gain a deeper appreciation for the artwork as well as make a few social changes.
The hope is that the student gains a greater awareness of what art is or can be. It's also about art and the social commentation of who we are as a people.
What I hope that people take away from the artwork is that the things that they firmly believe in, where those definitions of femininity or masculinity come from, why they believe the things they believe, why they don't question them, that maybe these pieces will plant a little bit of a seed that they can take with them out into the world, that germinates into them not just believing what they're told, but questioning why we believe the things that we believe and how we can maybe change those definitions for future generations.
Casey Freeman, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The next exhibit for the Malone Gallery is scheduled to open on March 22nd.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Huntsville, a plan by Remington Outdoor Company to open a plant that could employ thousands of workers has won the support of Republican Senator Jeff Sessions. In a statement yesterday, Sessions said his office looks forward to the company's long-term success in the area.
In Montgomery, Alabama lawmakers are considering legislation to allow the state's colleges and universities to participate in reciprocal online course offerings with schools in other states. House Bill 321 is sponsored by Representative Bill Poole, who says he met with the Alabama Commission on Higher Education and educators when he crafted the bill.
And in Selma, the city school board is accepting bids from architects to repair an elementary school's leaking roof, despite uncertainty over whether it will be closed in the Alabama Department of Education's takeover of the district. The condition of the roof over Knox Elementary School prompted the board to declare a state of emergency.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, it was an action-packed weekend on Troy's campus, including the biggest men's basketball victory of the season. Daniel Percival will have all the action ahead in sports. And now Daniel Percival joins us with sports. So Daniel, big weekend for Trojan Athletics, but especially for the men's basketball team. They were able to pull out a win this weekend.
Well, that's right, Amanda. It was a very big weekend, of course, with baseball opening up action at home, but the story of the weekend did belong to the men's basketball team. We'll get into a recap here in sports. Saturday night, the Trojan men's basketball team was featured on ESPN2 and showed out in the national spotlight, securing a program-defining victory against Georgia State. Mitchell Spoon was there to bring us the action.
Saturday night, the men's basketball team took down the #1 team in the Sun Belt, defeating Georgia State 85-81 on national television and in front of a season-high crowd. Head coach Phil Cunningham said there was only one word to describe the win.
It was a character win is the best way I can describe it, because our team, you know, they have really fought and worked all year long. They've been so consistent in terms of their effort and attitude, and they've gone through some ups and downs, and probably obviously more downs than ups, but they've never quit working, never quit believing, and to come out tonight was just a tremendous win.
For the Trojans, they were led by senior Jeff Millay, who had a career night scoring 27 points. But to Millay, he says it's not about the points, it's just about having fun.
I felt pretty good. I don't know, I tried not to let the atmosphere get me too rowdy. It's kind of hard sometimes though, because we're not really used to playing in front of that many people. It was just fun, you know, I was just trying to have fun.
Millay wasn't the only player scoring double figures on the night though, as Tevin Calhoun and Antoine Myers scored 20 and 15 points respectively. Calhoun credited one thing he says the team hasn't done all season.
This was, I think, the first time we played for 40 minutes, toughness from the jump until the buzzer went off, and the coach always stressed toughness, and I think tonight we showed that.
Mitchell Spoon, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
And the women's basketball team hit the court following the men and kept the atmosphere exciting inside Trojan Arena with a convincing win of their own against Georgia State. The women's basketball team won their 4th straight at home with an offensive showcase Saturday night, defeating the Georgia State Panthers 111-90. The Trojans came up just one shy of the school record with 15 made three-pointers in the contest.
First of all, I'm impressed with the improvement because we lost to them the first time. And I'm also impressed because this is the first team we played with legitimate post players that were much bigger than us and shooters. They were the whole package. And Ashley and her team were able to come out and stop everything they tried to do.
Ashley Beverly Kelly took control of the game, ending the night with 32 points, 13 assists, and 8 rebounds. Her 13 assists are the most of any women's basketball player in the Sun Belt this season. In the previous meeting with Georgia State on the road, Beverly Kelly only played 14 minutes and didn't net a single shot. But she said this time around, she only changed one aspect of her game plan.
My hair. That's all. I just wanted to make up for last time because I did not do very well last time when we played them. And I was just trying to prove to myself that I could do better that time. It was just out of my head.
Very proud of her. Again, she was 2 rebounds away from a triple-double, which what I understand has never happened here at Troy before. So at the end of the game, we were doing everything we could to move her down by the goal and let her get those 2 rebounds. We even called timeout and told her, but everybody started making shots. There were no rebounds to get. So anyway, I know she's proud of her teammates, but I'm proud of her.
This is the 5th time this season the Trojans have hit the 100-point mark, and Rigby was true to her word, busting out the moves for her 100-point dance.
I broke it out a little, yeah, I wanted to do a little more, but yeah, I don't want to be a bad sport, but for my team, they expect me to do a dance when we get 100 points, so I had to give it to them.
The women will be back in action Wednesday night when they travel to Lafayette to face UL Lafayette. Opening weekend victories have been a staple for Troy baseball in the past, and this year proved to be no different, with the Trojans taking the series victory against Northern Kentucky. Amy Alston has a weekend recap.
Opening weekend for the Trojans was a success as the team took the series. The Troy baseball team took on Northern Kentucky over the weekend and came away with 3 out of 4 victories. Friday, the Trojans defeated NKU 7-0.
Friday started with Tanner Hicks, who pitched really good for us, as he normally does. I thought offensively we got off to a decent start, a little bit slow in the game, but overall picked it up and had a decent start. So 7-0 win there was something you really like to open the season up.
On Saturday, the Trojans split the doubleheader, winning the first game from the Norse and taking a tough loss in the second. The Trojans defeated Northern Kentucky 6-2, but fell 6-5 to tough Norse pitching down the stretch.
Saturday, game 1 was Shane McCain, who again we expected to pitch really well, and he did. So we got the game 1 win. I think the score was 6-2. Before stumbling a little bit in game 3 with plenty of opportunities at hand to come back and win that game, didn't take advantage of them. Credit Northern Kentucky. They pitched well down the stretch, did what they had, lost a 6-5 game.
Championship Sunday proved to be just that. The Trojans took the series with a 14-4 victory over NKU.
To come back on Championship Sunday for a lot of players first year doing that with us, coming out and really with the right mentality, got out of the gate pretty quick, continued to put pressure on them. Scored a lot of runs like we like to do on Sunday. 2
offensive players stood out throughout the weekend. Joel Bennett was a key part to Sunday's victory with 3 home runs. David Hall contributed throughout the weekend. He was 7 for 9 in the series with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, a double, and 8 walks.
For a kid to start that comfortable and that relaxed is not all that usual, so credit him for being in the right place mentally, that relaxed as a hitter. So Kyle Brown did some damage behind him, and then Joel Bennett today with the big day, 3-homer day. That's what we're going to have to do to continue to protect the hitters like Dave when he's hot.
Amy Austin, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojans will be back in action this weekend when Central Michigan comes to town for another 4-game series beginning Friday night at 6. And the Trojan softball team split their first 4 games in the Osprey Invitational, including a convincing 17-0 victory over Savannah State in 5 innings. But on the final day of the tournament, the Trojans were unable to secure a victory. A walk-off single in the 7th gave Ohio a 5-4 win. The Trojans had battled back from being down 4-0 to level the score in the 6th. The tying runs came off a 3-run shot by Michelle Phelps, her 2nd homer of the season. J.C. Felt took the loss despite striking out 9 in 6 2/3 innings of work. Savannah Joe Dorsey got the win after pitching 1 inning. The Trojans' record now sits at 4-5-1 on the season, and the team will be back in tournament action at the Lipton Invitational at the University of Florida this weekend. So Amanda, Caitlin, lots of Trojan action over this past weekend, but not as much coming up this week at home with only the baseball team in action at home, but fans will have the opportunity to come out and see some Trojan sports this weekend with baseball having a 4-game home series.
Right. We wish everyone from Trojan Athletics best as they compete on the road this weekend. So thank you, Danielle.
Thanks, guys.